Of Silver up there, but I'm not sure if he's joining us today.
I don't think he is. He's still at work.
No. Larry went to the bathroom. How are you guys doing today, chat? Echo, I need a description with it.
I'm writing one right now.
Oh, okay. Alright, so we're getting the anime for next week. All caught up. Hey guys! It's the last anime analytics of 2017.
Cut off Silver.
And we saved the best for last.
This is the best. Fun fact, this anime overtook #1 spot in Japan for most selling movies.
Hey, Smoke!
He's so loud. Oh my god.
Alright, we have room for one more. Who do you think should take it? Thank you for the host. Room for one more. Who do you think should take it?
What happened?
For one more anime.
Let's do Blends S because the Moby wanted that.
No, put. Has everyone watched Aka?
Hmm?
Because I kind of want Aka to be in there.
Do Akka then, because Akka's really different.
Okay.
Really different.
Go ahead and write down a small description then. Alright then, let's get started. Since Larry's back from his pee. Oh gosh, I'm such an idiot. Okay, hi guys. This is the last anime analytics of 2017, and I forgot to redo the chat. That should be it, hopefully. Boop. There we go, perfect. I forgot what I was gonna do.
Yeah,
No! Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I'm the president of Otaku Anonymous, Diggy Stock. Go ahead, go down the line while I fix this.
Hello, I'm your Scottish person, Echo.
I'm that guy, Larry.
I'm the thing that ensures that humanity doesn't die. I am the Knight of the Sun Knight.
You're humanity's last hope,
You just
Sonny.
beat everyone.
Someone read chat.
Praise this.
Mark's
the guy in chat.
Alright, so today we're talking about the anime Your Name. Do you guys know what studio made this? I actually don't know their name.
I don't know the name, but it's the same studio.
Oh.
Summer Wars.
I should know this.
Thank you so much for the donation.
It's gonna
Thank
be.
I just saw it earlier.
It was Comics Wave.
Yeah, comics.
Comics. Oh yeah, comics.
And I'm trying to find the name of the director, but
the name is
Okay.
Makoto Shinkai.
Makoto Shinkai, so it is. I knew it, and I didn't want to say it in case I was wrong because I know I'd embarrass myself.
This place did this
Danny,
studio
thank you so much
did-
for the donation. You're awesome. Thank you.
Oh, $10. Yeah.
Thank you.
He also did 5 centimeters per second.
5 centimeters per
And,
second.
a
Children
voice
who
from a
chases
distant
lost.
star.
Children who chase lost voices. The
That
Garden
one's-
of Words.
Yeah.
But it was a different studio. He just apparently said
He
with the
made
Answer Studio.
Children Who Chase Lost Voices. I actually
Didn't he
really
do the
don't like
Digimon
that
movie?
one. He did. He did do the
Yes.
Digimon. He
Good
also did a Girl Who
man.
Leaped Through Time, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think that was the same studio though.
Just the
I think that
studio?
was
Oh,
Comics Wave, but I don't think that was the same director.
Alright, so let's get right into this anime discussion. What did you guys think when you... Oh, Echo, I guess you're the only one who saw this for the first time?
Am I?
Yeah,
This is
I think you are.
this is currently my 6th time watching it because as soon as I finished watching it earlier, I immediately put it on again.
Damn right.
So I have watched this. I have watched this an awful lot. I watched it when it first came out, as I was on a plane. I watched it again without subtitle. The first time I watched it was without subtitles, so I had no idea what was going on. I still cried. Um,
I couldn't put myself through that 6
it
times.
wasn't until the second time I watched it that I saw it with subtitles, and that was like a good 2 months or 3 months later, where it was in a cinema.
Okay. So what did you guys think before watching this anime? Like, what was your not your first impression, but what were you thinking before going into it?
I I didn't expect much out of it. I wasn't particularly into things that weren't action at that point when I watched it. So I just kind of watched it because it got nominated for a bunch of awards and a lot of people were talking about it, and I thought, well, I might as well sit through this. And now it is integrated as a part of my soul.
Larry?
I came in.
He
I
died.
came into this movie blind and everything. Like I no spoilers. I did my best not to know anything, and I watched it first in the movie theaters. I think a couple of weeks when it was released in America, because it was only out in theaters for about 2 weeks. I went to go see it, and I'm really happy I went to go see it in the freaking theaters. Cause I was surprised too, because like it was already out in Japan, for a long time, and I was like, hope nothing gets spoiled for me. I got nothing spoiled. So going into the movie, I was like, I guess I don't really think much, because like I'm not the kind of guy who like look at previews and shit. If I know I'm gonna go see it, like a video game like Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm not gonna go watch trailers. I'm gonna play it anyway. So
Yeah,
I
you're gonna see
literally,
it all.
yeah, I literally didn't know jack about the movie. All I know is that it's a romance between a guy and a girl. One's a city boy and one's a country girl. That was all I knew. I didn't expect all the crazy shit to happen.
Go ahead, Sunny.
Danny?
Turn sunny.
Okay, so I saw it later than everyone else, so I didn't get any spoilers for it, but everyone was still kind of talking about it, even months after it came out in the United States. Everyone was like, "This movie is the best movie." So I'm like, well, let's see if that's the way it is, and it was. I went into the movie not really knowing much about it. I knew it was from the same director as 5 centimeters per second. You know, that movie tore me apart too. Uh, I it's best to go in not knowing anything because wow, it was an amazing ride from beginning to end.
All right.
Mark says he watched it twice, yesterday night and this morning. Before watching it, I heard so many great things about this. I was super hyped about finally watching it. It vastly exceeded my expectations for this. I had no idea there was a supernatural element with the whole body switching thing.
Oh yeah, that was probably like the other thing I knew. They just switched
It's
bodies.
great how that was hidden. I when I first watched it, I had no idea. Although it was still kind of new when I first watched it.
Mm. I think I watched it within like the first 1 or 2 weeks of it coming out, and I heard nothing about it. I just knew the guy made it. That's it.
Mm.
And it looked beautiful. And Larry kept saying like, "Oh my god, I want to see this. Let's watch this." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll watch it." But then he watched it like a year after, and I'm like, "Wait, you said to watch it like now." Yeah, no, that's my experience watching it beforehand. What'd you guys think after the fact, watching it? What's your opinion on it now?
I absolutely adore it. Um, it it made me start to like things that aren't just men screaming and firing lasers at each other, which I still like a lot, to be fair. But now I also absolutely love watching things like Scum's Wish because I'm a masochist, I guess.
Go ahead down the list.
Larry.
I know what Larry's
Larry?
gonna say anyway. All of us love this movie so much. This movie was incredible in every way. It is at the top of my lists. Like, what's your favorite anime? It's technically, not TV show, but is anime style. Your Name, right there. Kimi no
I
Nawa,
I
right
I always
there at the top.
I rank movies separate from TV anime. So
Yeah.
like my favorite anime movie is the Digimon movie and this.
Digimon movie's
Fun.
great. Child's War Game, or the first 20-minute one.
Well, actually, Diaboromon Strikes Back, the one with
Okay.
the season 2 cast as well.
Yeah.
Well, fun fact: before this movie came out, the top 5 animated movies that were in Japan, that top sellers, were all Studio Ghibli. Yeah,
Oh.
Ghibli. This was the only one, and then when this movie came out, it took only 2 weeks to become #1 top seller in box office, and
I can
it's still
see
ranked
why.
#1. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, nah, this movie was pretty fucking good. Not pretty fucking good. It was really good. Good lord, like, perfect. What was the question again?
What do you
Exactly.
think
I lost
after
track.
watching it? What do you think
After
after you watched
watching
it?
it, like, what is there to think? There's only actions, which is to lay down, try not to cry, and
And then
cry.
cry.
That's
God.
pretty much it. Like, I mm,
Didn't
I
even
would
try not to cry.
like I
Let it
tried
flow.
so hard to get all my coworkers to go see this. I'm like, you need to see this movie. You have to see this movie. You don't understand. You can't live without this movie. I tried. I tried explaining them like how fucking amazing this damn anime is in terms of like the work that they put behind this.
Hmm.
What I thought after I was done watching it, I was happy. I wasn't sad. I was just like, I
It's
need.
that happy kind of
Yeah,
tears
it's
going
that.
out.
It's the happy tears. I wish I got more, but like, that's the movie. God dang it, those I didn't expect. Like, I think there was 3 twists for me. The 3 twists got me off. What'd you guys think about the twist? Echo, start
I
with you.
totally did not see it coming. Like I have
Right?
a terrible habit of when I'm watching movies, not out loud, but just to myself, try to predict things, and I genuinely can't help myself.
I do the same
And
thing.
and it kind of ruins certain things for me. But out of everything I predicted, that was nowhere near even like the top 20 things that I predicted.
Ziggy always does this shit where she's always like, I think this is gonna happen and this, and we're sitting on a movie, I'm just like, and then it happens, and I'm like, cool.
One sec
And
before we
then
get to away from the previous thing, Mark says it definitely deserves its place up on the top of the sales list. Even if you've never seen an anime in your life, and I'm not a fan of anime, you have to see this movie. I'd be shocked to
right,
see if someone disliked
It
it.
is great. It is
it is
great, even
great.
if you don't
Yeah.
see anime. I mean, it just it puts you on the side of the characters very well.
I
Yeah,
I live in a pretty small town, and we have a like indie film theater, and they showed Your Name once, and I went, and because I live in a small town, I know pretty much everyone here, and I was probably the only one there that actually watches anime, and there were so many people crying.
I
mean,
couldn't watch this in
why
a
not?
theater. It would just no.
I've
I
seen
Gotta
watched
do
this
it at
in a
home.
theater. I
twice,
watched this in a
Yeah.
twice
pretty
in the
empty
theater.
theater. It's pretty cool. Um, Everyone, let's say hi to Viper. Hello,
Hello,
Viper.
Viper.
And hey,
I
Silver.
I
We're going.
only I don't really cry at things too much. Like, like Your Lie in April. Yeah, it got me going a little bit, but Your Name, I was just fucking dead. I was mentally numb for hours after it ended. Like, I just went downstairs and got some food, and I'm just like, damn. It just completely just destroyed me inside and out.
I
I
cried
very
in my little boy heart.
very heartlessly dragged my friend to go see it literally the day after she was dumped.
Ooh.
It's
Oh
like,
man, you
fucking
can't just show
scrape
a
yourself off
romance.
the floor. We're going to see a movie.
You can't just show a romance movie to someone who just got dumped. That's like tabooed, man.
I admittedly, it was not one of my proudest moments, but at the time, I could not help myself. I had first class tickets to the Your Name hype train.
I mean, did you pay for her at least?
Yes.
Okay, then it's all cool. Hey, Silver, is there anything you would like to say?
Silver is muted.
Yeah. No, I'm muted because I'm still in work and I don't know what this sounds like.
It sounds like your
It's
typical
it's
car voice.
okay. Yeah. Let's give Silver the question. What did you think before the movie?
Before the movie, with all the hype I've heard about how, oh, you're gonna cry, it's so sad. I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't actually get sad. It didn't make me cry because I was like, well, here's the part that's supposed to be sad, but you know what? I bet it has a happy end. And it just, I was like, they'll figure it out. It's an anime. It's gonna be. Now, if I was wrong, I probably would have cried, but I wasn't. So,
All right.
you guys hyped it up too much.
I mean, that's the I try to avoid all the hype as best as possible, which I did. Luckily, I had no information. No one hyped it up for me. They just said, "Yeah, it's really good. You need to go see it." I was like, "All right, cool." And
I got
me
a
and my cousin
confession
were
to make
like,
too.
me and my cousin were like, all the hype. It was crazy too, because like I don't really like hyping up shit, but people were already hyping the fuck out of this movie, and it actually like reached it. I was like, "Fuck."
I was really hyped. Didn't matter. Still delivered. I was so just.
What were you gonna say, Diggy?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
I didn't cry. I got emotional. I felt like at that part where they were writing their hands on writing their names on each other's hands, and then the pen dropped. I felt like that part got me really emotional because I thought, no, it's hopeless. But I mean, also the ending, I guess, but not. I didn't really cry. It was just kind of.
So,
It was just
I
kind
cried at
of.
different parts.
I was
Like,
sad.
I didn't cry either. It was just in my.
It was nice. I was
It was
expecting
in
it to
my
be like a
heart.
sad
I'm the
cry,
only
but it
one that
wasn't.
cried then. I'm the only one that cries.
No,
Great.
Oh, Sunny cried, too.
I cried a relatively small amount when
At
she
what
looked on her hand and it was the "I love you." I cried small amounts then,
Oh yeah.
and then they kept seeing each other, and I'm like, no, no, and then I cried a little bit then, and then they found each other, and then I cried a little bit then, and then they looked back and met each other. And I'm like, oh, and then I was gone. That's where it hit.
So the first time I watched it, I cried when they were on the mountain and they got separated and the pen dropped. Because I was watching it without subtitles, so like I kind of didn't know what was going on. I had a vague understanding because I've watched too much anime and I can kind of pick up some things with context.
Yeah.
The first time I watched it, I cried when the pen dropped, and then I cried when they walked past each other on the stairs. Because I was like, oh, they finally found each other, and then they walked past each other, and I just lost it. I just couldn't.
I knew it
couldn't
wasn't
handle
over
it.
yet.
I
was like, no.
I didn't know it wasn't over. But then the second time I watched it, I cried when Mitsuha is running to the school, and she fell, and then she opens up her hand
Yep.
to read what he wrote. I lost it there.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember where I cried after that, but the latest time I watched it, it was the last day they swap. Like when he swaps
Yeah.
right after she goes to meet him, or yeah, right after she went to meet him. I think that was just because I knew what was coming.
Even though that scene happened, I literally didn't understand it until like he found out. Until it was like told to the main character that happened. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't understand what was happening at all until like they said it.
Mark says, I cry very easily. I had no idea what the movie was about. I just heard it was one of the greatest movies of all time, and the hype
And it is.
and that hype was exceeded. I cried as well. Echo, thank you, Mark. I'm glad it wasn't just me and Sunny.
I cried in my heart.
I cry with very particular things, and this wasn't either of those things. I mean, it still was really good, made me emotional, but I mean, like, it just didn't make me. I really wish I could have. The animation was probably the closest thing to making me cry, actually, because of how much love you could just see put into all like the frames of it. It's amazing.
The painting backgrounds were
it's
so
beautiful.
good.
Oh, when they're on top of
The
that
lighting
mountain,
effect.
I get
Oh my
shivers every time I see when they're standing on top of the mountain, and he
Mhm.
looks out, and it's the destroyed city, and she looks out, and it's the
I
like
know.
full town. Oh,
I had to like rewind that part like 3 times just to see the difference between the city before and after, and I was like, how look at the work they do. It's insane. What was your guys' favorite landscape area? Did you like the city or the like the rural
I
kind
know
of design?
exactly the exact part that I love, and it's when Taki is on the roof looking at the shooting star, and you have the Tokyo skyline at night with the shooting star with the gas trail going over it. That is my favorite. That was my wallpaper until I upgraded my PC.
Yeah, if we're gonna talk about just amazing scenes in general, all of the scenes with the comet are beautifully.
Mm.
Like when it's coming like directly down toward him, and like the sky is all busting out.
Yeah.
Oh
That
no,
was
that
beautiful.
hurts.
I
That
love
hurts
that.
me.
Oh, the
That like
animation.
just hearing you say that Diggy gave me goosebumps.
Beautiful animation. I think my favorite, maybe not landscape, but artwork that was done in the movie was when he was drawing and they animated him drawing. I was like, oh, it's beautiful. It's perfect. You're just drawing a pencil, drawing a pencil. It's amazing.
That was really good.
Yeah. That's my favorite part, though. My favorite
Yeah, that shit.
animation part. Go ahead, Larry.
I think like him drawing was really good. I think oh my god, it was the part where he drank the sake and then like he fell. I was like, yo, this animation's tripping me
Yeah.
out. When she was reliving the past. Like that animation was tripping me the fuck out.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But like
That scene reminded me of another anime, and I can't place what it is. That's been happening a lot lately.
I think my favorite scenes, I really like the rural areas. I think if I actually had a choice to live in a place, I would actually live in like a outskirts place. At least give me some fucking internet. That's all I want. But
Yeah, like
I
the
really do
kind of small
prefer.
town she lives in.
Yeah, I really do
Yeah.
enjoy that kind of shit. Like I don't give a fuck. There's no restaurants and stuff.
Well, I mean,
They
she had a
didn't even
cell
have a
phone, so
cafe. You're right.
That was my favorite landscape, at least art. Oh, don't even get started about fucking food. Holy shit, the
the
fucking art for
food.
the food was. Oh!
Mark says my favorite landscape was definitely the countryside when they were standing atop the mountain looking over the lake. It was such a sad moment, and also when Mitsuha was watching the comet in her yukata.
Mm.
Yeah, when she realized what was going down.
Yeah, that. They use a noise, and I don't know what instrument it is, but it's like a really shrill, kind of
Yeah.
upwards going note that ends in some kind of striking noise. And they used it quite a lot, and every time they use it, it like twinges something in my heart. And they use it when she looks at the comet as it's coming straight down.
Oh.
I forgot
if I
what they
noticed that.
called it. It was like it was some kind of Twilight where they could actually see each other. I liked I liked that scene.
In
It was
English, they called it the
near the
magic
crater.
hour. They called it the
That
magic hour
that
in
The
sounds
half
English.
light.
Yeah, the half light. But I think it's like literally Twilight Zone. That's literally what it like. I think like in Japanese, they're saying like
Mm.
Twilight something.
Yeah, that
Twilight
The
sounds.
Time.
Witching Hour, Twilight, Half Light. Like they had that classroom scene where they were talking about all the different names for it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right at the start.
Silver, you never mentioned your favorite landscape.
My favorite landscape was the opposite view when they were on the mountain, when they were looking down at the shrine, not down at the town. Because
Oh yeah.
when Mitsuha and Yatsua and the grandmother hiked up and stopped, and then when he hiked up and stopped and looked down, like you could tell it looked different.
Oh yeah.
And I actually had to go back and forth. Like I screen capped it and went back and forth to see what the differences were. And those two scenes, like that, the whole shrine, the little tiny shrine off in the distance in the middle of a crater, like it was nice.
Mm. Sunny, did you mention yours?
Yes. Top of the crater during Twilight
Oh,
Hour thing was great.
okay. Let's move on to favorite part, I guess, because I'm not sure if they go hand in hand for you guys. What do you think, Echo?
I have a bunch for this, although a lot of them are pretty short. Um, the first day Mitsuha is in Taki's body, just that entire sequence, because they convey really well that it is a different person in Taki's body. Like the facial expressions are different, the body language is different, and even though it's Taki's voice actor, the manner of speaking is different. Like the voice actor's putting on a more kind of breathy, quieter, more feminine voice. And then
Wouldn't
also
that
there's the bit where his friend calls him cute.
wouldn't that have been the second day they had switched bodies?
No, it was the
Technically, it's the first day we saw them switch bodies, but
no, because you don't see the first day Taki is in Mitsuha's body. You only see the day after where she's dealing with what happened. But you see the first day she is in his body, and no one mentions that he was ever acting weird before. So
yes, you're
you
right.
can only assume that that was the first day she was in his body, and then
I thought they switched.
the next day it shows you Mitsuha in her own body after it, and she thinks she had a dream.
I thought they switched.
Well, they did switch, but you don't see Taki in Mitsuha's body. You see Mitsuha in Taki's body, and then the next day you see Mitsuha in her own body.
Right. But I just assumed that it was a 1-to-1 switch every time. So that
No, it is a 1-to-1 switch. You just don't see the other side of it for the first one.
It's also difficult to say because, at the start of the movie you think that it's happening at the same time, and then by the end you figure out that they're kind of
Yeah, yeah.
it's not happening at the same
It's
time because they're
even though it's not 1-to-1.
three
Yeah.
years apart.
I see what you're saying, Echo.
My
I got what you're saying now.
yeah, my other one would probably be when they are planning to save the town. And they're just having that entire thing where they're like, okay, we'll blow up the power generators. The natural conclusion.
They get blown up anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Um,
hey, I've got access to gel explosives. Why not blow stuff up?
Yeah. But that's mainly for the scene where Mitsuha falls and looks at her hand and sees that what Taki wrote on her hand, because that that makes my heart do things that I didn't know that human organs could do.
What did Mark say, Echo?
Mark says, "Oh, one sec. Let me scroll up." Such a beautiful. Honestly, the whole movie was my favorite scene, to be honest. But to pinpoint it down, I actually have two scenes that I really loved as my favorite. The first being the part where Taki drank Mitsuha's Kichi Kamizake. I think that's how you pronounce it. In the shrine. It was such a beautiful scene. The animation and the way the art just moved. It was so mesmerizing to me seeing Taki learn about Mitsuha's past and to see him be able to reach Mitsuha through time once again to try and save her. I was so happy seeing Taki wake up as Mitsuha again. Seeing her alive was such a great scene. My second favourite had to be the scene where Taki and Mitsuha were able to finally meet each other on top of the mountain during the twilight hour. Seeing them see each other for the first time just felt really warm and fuzzy feeling inside. Getting to, oh yeah, that will have been the first time they actually met. I just felt this really warm fuzzy feeling inside, getting to see them finally face each other and interact with one another. Even though time was short, they cherished what little time they had together. The scene to me also felt really enhanced when I realized what Taki actually wrote on Mitsuha's hand later on. That really got me with the feels. There was no way we were going to fail. They had to succeed at that point. I loved that scene so much.
Larry?
Everyone's always saying the Twilight Zone where they met each other.
Twilight Zone.
The Twilights do. My favorite was actually wait.
Isn't that
Okay.
X-Files?
Alright. My favorite was actually the very last scene where they saw each other in the train. Because he's always talking about how he feels like he's missing something. And then even she feels like they're missing something. And it's like, fuck, dude. I relate. I feel like I'm missing something too.
Maybe
And then they say, and then they see each other's eyes, and they're like, "What I've been missing is someone." And then they like frantically start searching for each other. I'm like, just find each other, and they see each other, but they're like slightly embarrassed and not sure, but they're still like, they say it. I think in Japanese, what did they say in Japanese?
I don't remember. I just rewatched it too.
In Japanese,
was,
they say something different than the English one.
Wait,
Pretty sure.
when they see each other
Yeah, let me double check
on the
real quick.
stairs.
I think they actually
Yeah.
they say
Okay, never mind. They say the
I
same thing.
feel
in
like I met
Japanese.
you.
Yeah.
I feel like I met you somewhere before.
and then they
And
both say Kimi no
I-
Nawa at the end.
yeah, okay. They both said the same thing in Japanese English. That part fucking killed me after he said, "Haven't we met before?" And she goes, "I was thinking the same," and it was like, that shit fucking killed me. I was like,
Actually,
oh, no.
1 second before I forget, there's another scene that I love so much, and not for any good reason. And it's when Taki goes to Mitsuha's town and realizes it's all trashed. And then he goes and looks at his phone and he's like, "No, I've got messages from her." And he opens up his phone and he goes to read out the messages and they all start deleting themselves as he's trying to open them.
Yeah.
That got me a little bit. That got me a little bit. I was like, ooh, what's gonna happen?
Yeah. I also like when they were writing on each other's face and body. I thought that was kind of cute. Some good old comedy.
There were two other little tiny scenes that I thought were really good. One was the when Taki was going to go on the date with the coworker, and Mitsuo was like, "I want to be going on that date." that was really good.
You better enjoy it because I want it.
Yeah, because she was like, "I set it all up. I enjoy hanging out with her. I want to go on that date." It's like, and the one where Taki was oh, where was he? I think he was somewhere in Tokyo, and he saw Tessie and that other girl.
Oh yeah, right at the end, like when he's going after he had the interviews,
Yeah,
and
and
he's sitting in a cafe, and they're behind him.
yeah, Tessie and the other girl, and he was like, "Wait, huh?" And like he had that little like, do I know them? That was a nice little nod to say like, "Yo,
Yeah,
they got out okay
Tessie
too.
and Sakaya. Thank you, Mark.
They got out too. It's all good."
Sunny.
Everyone's saying all these multiple things. I got one, and it is easy. It is the point. Okay, so up to this point, I could feel it. I was sympathizing with the characters. I was pulling for them the whole time. And she's coming. You know, they've met on the mountain. She's coming down the mountain, and then it is the point where she looks at her hand, and it says "I love you." And I was gone then. That is
Mm.
my favorite scene of the whole movie.
Hmm.
First time that I just lost it.
uh, my favorite scene in particular, and the reason why it's that scene where they're on the mountain, right? And the music is building up, and they're talking to each other because they're just so happy to see each other. And then she's writing on his hand, and then along when she disappears, the music just stops, and he goes, "I won't forget your name. Who are you?" He just keeps saying it repeatedly and repeatedly. I was like, yes, I love it. I love that.
That
Oh,
hurt. That
I
hurt so much.
I need animation to hurt. I'm tired of this Disney shit. That was perfect.
The sound design was so good
It was,
in this
wasn't it?
movie as well. Like the way they used the music, like fading in and out. The like because there's a scene where I think it's Taki closes a door or opens the door, and the music gets louder when he opens the door when he's about to head out.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the music stopping when Mitsuha vanishes. There's the shrill note with the loud strike that they use quite a lot to just like whenever something I guess scary happens.
Like how he drank the thing and he kind of fell over, and then all of a
Yeah,
sudden
yeah, they
he just
use
kind of.
it. They use it when his head hits the ground. They
Mm-hmm.
use it when Mitsuha looks at the comet. They use it when Taki looks at the comet. But I guess that's supposed to be because Mitsuha's looking at the comet at the same time. But you don't realize that when Taki's looking at it. And then there's the songs themselves. That opening song by Radwimps. Oh,
There
What
are
was
three specific
in
songs. I like wrote the whole thing.
what was in the drink that he drank in the thingy?
It was
uh,
rice sake,
Fermented
Spit.
rice.
fermented
Spit.
from
Oh,
her
Spit.
okay.
spit.
right,
Yeah,
yeah, it
Spitting.
was
Yes.
spit as well.
It was
It's
the
fermented
rice
with
that she
saliva.
chewed. It was the rice that she chewed in that
in the
shrine
ceremonial
ritual,
dance.
and then
Oh, okay. It's
drooled it
that
back out of her
information.
mouth
And then it
into
fermented.
the thing.
It's
Yeah.
supposed to be half of her soul, or that's why drinking it allows him to
It
re-establish
wasn't
the
that. It
connection.
wasn't that gross. Come on.
I would
I've
do
seen
that.
worse.
Same. I've done
That was
worse.
also a good scene when she was all embarrassed that her classmates saw her drooling chewed up rice into a container.
And when she's embarrassed that he drank it.
Mm-hmm. Who's your guys' favorite character and why? Echo.
This is a hard one because
Then
I
I'll
love
go.
I love
I
them
love
all.
Taki.
The chips.
Yeah. I love Taki. He was really cute, even feminine. He was super fucking adorable.
True.
Anyone else?
Actually, I think Yotsuha, Mitsuha's little sister,
God damn it, Echo.
Because for
God
a
damn.
child, she was just too fucking real. Like, anytime Mitsuha was being a little bit weird, she was like, alright, I'm gonna leave. It's like, every time she opened the door and it was Taki and Mitsuha's body, like, feeling her boobs, and she would just slam the door in her face. Larry?
Next.
I'm not gonna say the main characters because that's just too easy. Obviously, we love them a lot. Obviously,
Taki.
we really did like them. I actually do think I like the guy more than the girl. I just feel more, I connect more guy. But in general, I think the guy was really cool. But the out of like all the side characters though, I really like the the girl he worked with, the waiter girl.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know.
What's her name?
She was just
Okudera.
yeah, Ohodera. Yeah, she was just really cool. Like she's just really cool.
Cool
And like
older sister type.
yeah, she was the cool
Okudera
older
coming
sister.
through.
And then like when she started smoking, I was like, "Yo, that's unexpected." She kind of looked good. She making it work. Like I don't really like smokers, but she making it work. It's like Sanji or that one girl from Cowboy Bebop, Faye. You know. But out of like, I'm not gonna say the main characters because obviously they're really fucking lovable and not everything. We all like them, but I really just liked it in general. The the Ohudera.
Mark's got a wall of texts.
I know. I'll get that after Sunny and Silver.
All right.
So, Silver?
Well, you can probably tell by my goddamn it echoes that I was gonna. Well, my favorite character was Yatsua as well for the same reasons. She opened the door, just doing grabbing boobs. It's just like, why are you being weird again? Slams the door, and then just the one scene where she opens the door and she's freaking out, and then she slams the door and she's like, I'm going to school now. She's lost it. She's just complete. She's lost it. She's gone, and she's just mumbling to herself as she leaves.
She's putting her socks on, going scary, scary, scary.
Yeah, and she was just like, oh, no, nope, nope, nope. I'm gone. I'm out. I'm out. Bye. that just the little sister was a great character.
Hmm.
Sunny?
Yeah, Sunny.
Well, I'm not so high and mighty as to not pick a main character, so my favorite was Mitsuha. In some way, I liked every character in the entirety of the movie. All of them had their good points.
So, are y'all ready?
Yeah, we're ready. I'm ready.
Mark says,
Mark's
really,
essay.
really the whole cast was superb to me. All the characters felt like they served an important role in this movie. There was no bad characters, but for my favourites, it would have to be the two main characters, Taki and Mitsuha. I'm a huge sucker for romance, so this was an easy choice for me. I loved how both of these characters were so engulfed with wanting to know each other, even though they were from two different times, and they had never actually met each other. I loved seeing both of these characters' determination, even though their memories of each other would sometimes waver. They'd persevere for it and keep going, even though at times they had no idea what they were after, but to finally see them see that goal once they met each other on the mountain. It was such a great feeling of relief for the characters. I loved seeing Mitsuha travel to Tokyo to see Taki. I felt so bad for her when Taki didn't know who she was. Oh god, yeah, I'd actually forgotten about that little bit. But seeing Mitsuha give Taki the braided cord when Taki called out to her felt like even then she didn't give up on him and her feelings. I felt like she would have kept trying to reach him if she would have lived on. I also loved how Taki could have just given up after he stopped switching with Mitsuha, but he never gave up, seeing his determination and wanting to finally meet this person he could barely remember. It was so powerful. He didn't realize what that feeling was yet, but to see his feelings finally find him when he saw Mitsuha on top of the mountain, and that feeling was love. Oh, yeah. You have such a way with words, Mark. Like, genuinely. It is such a great moment between these two characters. It's amazing how powerful determination and love can be. How love can connect two people even through time. I get this really warm, fuzzy feeling inside. I love the determination and drive of these characters, and I'm a huge sucker for romance, so the whole story between them got to me with the feels.
Mark's comment is getting me with the feels.
Same,
Damn.
same. You're not bad at expressing yourself with words, Mark. Like that was so much better than anything I could ever articulated about this movie. Other
I'm
than
sad.
it's really good, it made me sad, it made me happy, I cry.
I'm sad from listening.
I
feel
cry
sad.
every time.
I was sad watching it in the background as I was doing other things. Like a scene would come up and I'd just be like, wait, why am I sad? Oh, that's why.
Larry?
We did, Larry.
No, something else.
Oh, next thing, yeah.
Yeah.
We
Larry?
need to talk about the
Oh, go ahead.
the story, because there's a lot to talk about with the...
Oh yeah. So, anyone know their Japanese lore? I don't.
A little bit.
No, a little bit. Does anyone else know their Japanese lore? Was anything
little
here
bit.
actually in Japanese lore, or was it made up? Anyone know
Japanese lore.
that? Sorry,
Well, folklore.
History.
folklore, history. Yes, that.
So the whole braided cord time thing when Mitsuha was going up the mountain, that was a thing that really confused me because I kept hearing them say time because I was watching it without subtitles. I kept hearing them say time over and over and over again, and the only reason I knew that was because JoJo had finished part 3 had finished not long before it, so I had just heard Dio screaming time stop like 50 times in a row and screaming and throwing road rollers. But I know that that's a genuine thing, is the whole like the braided cord representing a timeline or a series of events, and you would braid a cord over like a month, and that cord would just be a physical representation of that month and things like that.
It kind of felt like because her cord ribbon bow thing she used in her hair was red, or mostly red.
Yeah, red and orange.
It felt like it was like kind of also representing like the red thread of destiny.
Yeah, that too.
Ah, I see.
This movie is Dark Souls. It has
That's actually
lore.
what I thought what it was, the Red String of Destiny. That's
What were you
actually what I
thinking
thought what
about
it
that?
was.
It probably is that as well. Because like they could have made it any color, but they chose to make it red.
Mm-hmm.
And the scene,
Oh, go ahead.
and the scene where he drinks the sake, like he's holding the red cord and it's pulling him through back to her.
Oh yeah, it's like around his wrist, pulling him through that entire like sequence.
Which is like a whole red thread of destiny thing, like in other animes and other media, like there other things where it's like through time or just follow the red thread to get back to the person you're destined to be with and stuff. So that's what I got from the whole braided cord thing.
There was something that I read way back, because I spent quite a while just reading comments that people made, because they, that post anime depression, need to talk about it. And other than telling Larry, "Oh God, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen," I was looking up stuff, and someone made the point where a lot of other shows would have the body swapping be the major plot point. It actually in this movie ended up being a kind of a cog in the machine of the whole plot.
Yeah,
It
it's
wasn't the central
kind of
point. It
It was
enabled
the
the plot.
key. Yeah, it
yeah, it was the
enabled. It was
enabler.
the key.
It enabled them to have their tie so that they could figure out what was going on. And there were a lot of hints with the shrine and the shrine's history and why they do the rituals that they do, and that coming back to them preventing basically everyone in the town dying.
A huge natural
Yeah.
disaster. Yeah.
Yeah. Which they don't really go out of their way to point it out. They very subtly hint at that. They don't say that they don't have this point at the end where they're like, "Oh, all of this stuff happened so that we could stop the town from being destroyed." They just hint at it and leave it at that. And if you want to think about it, think about it, but it's not in your face about it, even though it's a rather important point of what's happening in a way.
It's crazy how they gave us all the hints, man. They gave us all the answers, but you know, I
Yeah, so this time watching it,
crazy.
I noticed a lot more of the clues
Yeah.
that were they aren't happening at the same time. Because they mention the comet when they show you Taki at one point, and they mention that the comet has already happened. But it's super in passing, and it's pretty close to the start, I think, when he's watching TV or something.
Yeah, it's really small hints.
And then there's the whole museum when he's on the date where he's looking at the pictures of the town, and it's like the town 3 years ago or something, and it looks exactly like what Mitsuha was seeing.
Well, pre-disaster.
Yeah. Which
I
I guess in your first watch through, when you don't appreciate all the detail it goes into, you would not notice that at all.
noticed it.
So
Mark says, I didn't look up the lore, but I love how they integrated it so well into the story and the characters. It fits so well with the whole movie. And it was at the very beginning when they showed Yeah, it was. I'm so
The
glad I had another excuse to watch this movie twice more.
There are a lot of very subtle things that make this movie the masterpiece that it is.
I like when they pointed out that they're like, how do you think the lake was made? It's a meteor crater. And then if you look at literally the shrine, it is a chunk of rock in the middle of a big crater.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if they're all from that same the same comet, then it passes every 1,200 years. You got to think, well, if the shrine was the first impact,
the lake was the second,
and the lake was the second, and then the third one was the destruction of the town, that's a very long timeline.
Or maybe the shrine was the second.
Alright, I'm done doing the thing I was doing before. So. Oh no, I'm completely lost. Where are we right now?
We were talking about plot.
we're talking about the plot.
We were talking about the plot, the Japanese folklore significance, the subtle details that tie it together.
I noticed that animation in Japan, I don't know, some of the really big animation things always relate back to absolute destruction, and I kind of feel like it's kind of an ode to the past of, you know, like the destruction of Hiroshima and stuff like that. Because all of Miyazaki's works, they always have some kind of big fucking explosion or something destroying, and he always says it's reminiscent of what actually happened in World War II. I kind of feel like since this guy, he loves Miyazaki so much, what he says in so many interviews, I kind of feel like he was resembling the exact same thing with the comet striking the Earth. And the thing is, it felt just as devastating. Not just as devastating as that, but I mean, like, you know, like it mirrored it.
It's an
pretty-
entire town being, and all of its inhabitants just being wiped out in an instant.
Exactly, yeah. It's sad. And it's, I kind of felt like he captured that really well. Especially when the comet is kind of spiraling down to Earth. It's nice. I like it when animators draw destruction because it doesn't
'Cause
need
you're a
to be
sadist?
clean. No, it doesn't need to be clean. It's all very choppy and things don't need to follow through, which is why Gainax is so good at what they. It's like Gurren Lagann is really
Don't.
good.
Ah! Well,
It's
see, now it's just a
fantastic.
thing that we do
You're
it
planning
every.
So
It's
okay,
the
I
thing.
don't
It's gonna happen
think
every
that
week.
should count. That wasn't genuine. Like you planned that, Diggy. I'm not gonna
No,
reset the
no.
counter.
Actually, that was kind of spontaneous. I was gonna use the destruction of when Daiguren, when he stomps his foot on the ground and then everything kind of just bursts out of nowhere. But they use zero spacing. That way they don't need to draw the finer details of the rocks. But in this one, they fine detailed everything.
When you
I
mentioned
love it.
Gynax, I was thinking about when the original Life Fiber destroyed like a bunch of stuff right at the end of Kill la Kill. When it just pops out the
That's
ground and starts
Trigger.
wreaking havoc. Oh, same
Oh,
thing.
that's Trigger. No. Also, like when Daikon 5, whenever no, Daikon V, 5, 4, the part where
5V.
she, the ending part where like everything just gets fucking just blown away, and then I don't know. I kind of felt like the part where the city's actually getting destroyed. It looked very similar to that. I'm not sure if you guys caught that or not. It looked almost identical to that. Like the buildings and the trees and stuff getting blown out of the way. I don't know. I just something I noticed.
Same, but different.
This guy, he, whoever the director is, he's a real big fan of older animation. You can see it.
Yeah.
Just like Gynax and Trigger.
Mm-hmm. Not like that. I remember him saying that he just fucking loves Miyazaki and he'd sit on his dick if he could.
Is that a direct quote?
No, but I'm what's the word?
Might as well be.
Yeah.
Paraphrasing.
I'm paraphrasing. There you go.
The intent is there, though.
If it can, yeah. If it would get Senpai's attention, I'm sure he would. I just said that. Well, you know, we had to end the year off Weeby, right?
Damn right.
This was the perfect way to end the year, I think, because I started the year watching this movie.
I've been wanting to talk about this for a really long time. Because I love this movie.
I'm really happy we left it for last. Because I kind of felt like there wasn't any better... I felt like there was no better anime to actually end the year off with.
I mean, this movie made a huge impact on the industry and the community in general this year because everyone's been talking about it and everyone's like everyone is pretty unanimous on this being an incredible achievement of animation.
I hope this really starts up original animation again, like totally just not completely cut out CGI because I realize some things are impossible, but I really hope this starts up a newer Ghibli, you know, or a newer
bar. It sets the new bar for animated movies.
Not just a bar, but just like it just starts up hand-drawn animation again. Like I would just be happy with that, especially American-wise, because I kind of feel like that's just not appreciated here anymore.
Nothing is impossible if you put your mind to it.
We only
Was proven by this movie.
The only hand-drawn animations we get now are rarely from Disney, and then the claymations. And claymations only come out like once every like 5 years because it takes so damn long. But they're
Yeah.
not doing. There's not a lot of Americans that do hand-drawn animations anymore.
Yeah. I remember the last attempt America tried doing with hand-drawn animation was Princess and the Frog.
Right? They're like, we're gonna go
Yeah.
back to the old school stuff, and then it was good, but like,
It didn't even make
American.
half the money back. Which was the
Yeah.
depressing
It
thing.
was no Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. Everyone's still talking about that one. No one remembers
Good
Princess
stuff
and the Frog.
doesn't always make its money back.
Yeah.
I
Especially
hope I'll get
for
another
stuff like
chance
this.
to see this in the cinema. Because it's totally worth it to see it in a cinema. Even if, like, you can't express your emotions because you're surrounded by 30 strangers.
Remember when this got snuffed at the Oscars? And everyone like practically fucking rioted? But then
I do not watch the Oscars, so I didn't know.
It got snuffed at the Oscars for Best Animated Film. I forgot what won that year. I don't want to say it was Zootopia, but I think it was Zootopia.
Oh my god, if it was Zootopia,
I'm pretty sure it was
riot
Zootopia.
right now. Really?
But a lot of people were pissed about it, and so they gave it an honorary mention and like its own little award thing, and I think they mailed it to the guy.
Was that 2016?
After it was 2016.
That's
Inside Out.
And so, oh my god, are you kidding me?
That's what Google says.
It was inside. That shit was paid. Fuck them. I hate
Academy
that stupid
Award
movie.
for Best Animated Feature Film winners 2016.
I wish the Emoji Movie got it. Anyways,
really sad.
or the
man.
Lego Movie. That one was better than fucking Inside Out. Fuck that movie. I hate it. Stupid shit. Emotions with emotions. They can't have more than one emotion. Joy should have been the bad guy to the very end. They can't have more than one. Am I expect to believe that they have like inner joys and angers inside of joy and anger?
Guys, I don't know what Diggy's talking about. Help me.
It's a weird.
I didn't even see the movie.
Disney movie, I think. Was it Disney or was it Pixar? I don't.
It was Disney. Oh, Pixar,
Okay.
yeah, Pixar. Same difference. Anyways, any closing thoughts? And unless you guys want to mention anything else before then.
This movie was incredible, and no one can ever make me think otherwise.
Same. I'm glad I love Digimon so much because that was probably like the defining reason that I even gave this movie a chance.
Why?
What?
Because it's the same
What?
director as the Digimon movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay then. I'm not as lost now.
I didn't know that. And you're just like, yeah, Digimon, and
yeah,
I was like,
Omnimon
what the hell
really
does
told.
Digimon?
Omnimon came to me in a dream and told me to watch this movie.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Son of a
It's
bitch,
like-
no.
Left field. Oh
Alright.
man.
So closing thoughts and ratings. I'll start. I give this movie a 10 out of 10. Highly recommend it. I'm gonna see if I can get Isaac to watch it later because he hates anime.
Need to get watched.
But I want.
Oh,
But he does like animation though. I think he hates like the cliched anime. So if I can get him to watch this, then I feel like I've done the anime community some good. I highly recommend it, even if you hate anime. I feel like you're still probably gonna like it. And that's it. I highly recommend 10 out of 10. Really happy we ended the year off with this one. I'm really happy
Same.
about it.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
I give it a 20 out of 10. I've already said everything I could say in the previous however long we've been here about this, but I adore this movie so much, and I will literally move mountains to make people watch this movie.
I'll be there pushing that mountain with you.
Hell yeah, Sonny.
Apparently, all you need is a mustard seed of faith to move a mountain. Silver? Or Larry?
Did I say 10 out of 10?
Well, we know that you were gonna say it.
10 out of 10. 10 strings out of 10 strings. Yes.
Yes.
That's it. All right. That's me, right?
Yep.
All right. Yep. 10 boob grabs out of 10 awkward I have to go to the bathrooms. Movie was amazing. I definitely will recommend it to everyone. I am contemplating buying a projector and forcing people to watch it on like the side
Do
of
it.
a building. Just like being
Get
like,
some
hey,
good
let's hang out here. I'm gonna pick you up, and then just drive somewhere and be like, all right, projector, set of wall, car stereo. We're watching this right now. You can't get out, and just putting the child locks on.
Okay, that you've made it a bit weird, but
Good.
I'm behind it. I can appreciate it. Sonny?
It does not matter who you are. You could hate anime, you could hate stories, you could hate just electronic, something displaying a picture. You could hate
Electronics.
the very core, hate the Odyssey, hate the very ideal of a story with plot. I would recommend this movie to you. Literally any human on the planet, I would recommend this to. 10 animus out of 10. This is my favorite. Any anime movie or TV show, doesn't matter. This is my favorite. 10 out of 10.
Awesome.
Just
Mark
like the movie.
Mark said I would give this movie a trillion out of 10. It was perfect in every way, in my opinion. Story was absolutely fantastic. There were so many great moments in it. All of the characters were great. The OST was superb. The animation was amazing throughout the whole movie. Some of the scenes in this movie were actually some of the most animated pieces of art I've ever seen. I loved how vibrant and colourful the scenery was. It was so easy on the eyes for me. I would highly recommend this movie to anyone, even if they've never seen an anime in their life. This movie is a must watch. If you haven't seen it, drop everything you're doing and watch this movie multiple times back to back. Project it on the moon.
And watch the English because
world.
it's actually pretty good too.
Oh, I've heard.
I wouldn't even like if you're telling somebody to watch this. I wouldn't even be like, you gotta watch this anime movie. It's like you gotta watch this movie. And if they're like, oh well, what is it? It's an animated movie. Like I wouldn't. It's obviously anime, but it's
Nah, just
doesn't
don't even tell if it's anime.
you don't have to say it's anime. Like people love the Ghibli movies, and they're not like, oh no, it's anime. No, Ponyo loves ham. You know, whatever. Like you don't even have to say it's anime. It's just here, watch this amazing movie.
So, do you want to know what the average score we gave this is?
I'm guessing it's somewhere around a trillion out of 10.
166,666,677 out of 10.
That completely
Yeah,
throws
that's-
off the score from
That
overall.
dividing the 30
That
by
that
36.
shits all over Shingeki no Bahamut, which
That's-
was the previous highest rated thing.
Yeah, 9.75.
Oh,
And
God.
I mean, that's not how the score works.
Yes,
I
it
don't
is.
think it's an A plus. All right, perfect score. 5 out of 7,
A++.
perfect
That's
score.
that's
That is
actually, that's an S rank.
S
It's a
plus
triple S. Triple
Yeah,
S.
smoking sick style.
the highest
Wait, what?
rating.
You've never played Devil May Cry? You get a triple S rank combo. It says
Yeah.
Smoking Six Style.
I didn't know that.
Well, now you do.
Now I do. Thanks, nerd.
Just gonna go
Alright.
for him like that. Damn.
Well,
Huh?
166 billion.
That was the last anime analytics, guys, for the year.
What a
For
way
the
to
year.
end the year.
2017.
I was gonna cry. It's the
20
last one.
Season
It's the new
1
year in
of
2 days.
Otakus Anonymous is over. Be sure to tune into Season 2 next week.
You know, yeah, next Friday. Back-to-back seasons.
Hell yeah, back-to-back
Yeah,
seasons.
we chicken now.
Well, we need one more vote to make this anime for next week happen.
I try.
One more vote. It's a tie right now. Never mind. It's not
Oh.
a tie
No, it's
anymore.
not.
What's
All
that?
right. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us this year for the Anime Analytics. This is the last Anime Analytics of 2017.
I didn't vote.
And, yeah. I would like to say the stuff about our sponsors real fast. Larry, you go for it. I want to hear you do it.
Hey, do you need plastic crack? Get your Gundams at Hobbyholics.
God damn it, Larry.
Hey, that's how he sells it too. He's like, you need plastic crack? He sells it like that. He's like, hey, you need plastic crack? Get it at Hobbyholics, at hobbyholics.com, where you can find all your Gundams and all your Gundam needs. And I think they got some more stuff in stock recently. And thank you, Diggy.
Did they?
All the time.
And if you need a weeb out and look weebin while weebing out, go to Weeb Apparels to get your weebin gear. And if you don't have hair, they got you covered at wigs at Epic
Oh my
Wigs
God.
Cosplay, because they have
Epic
wigs.
cosplay wigs, Larry.
Epic Cosplay Wigs, because they have wigs for your
What
head.
if I do have hair? Can I still
You
buy an
could- you could-
epic
you could-
cosplay wig?
Yeah, you can still buy wigs to put on things and yourself, because they
Thank
got
you,
really nice
Larry.
wigs.
Thank you for that, Larry. It's the best plug.
Okay, I voted.
All right.
It didn't change anything.
It didn't change anything. All right. So next week's our first anime of 2018. Next week's anime will be Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Larry, you want to give a short
Yay.
description without? I don't think you can really spoil this anime, can you?
There's
Oh,
no
you can.
spoilers. Kobayashi gets a new roommate, and guess what? She's a dragon, and she's a maid.
And she's
a dragon maid.
She becomes
she-
a maid. She wasn't a maid before.
She's a dragon. She becomes a maid. She's a dragon maid. That's it. And they
So,
have
Yeah.
Wow,
fun
watch their
adventures.
quirky adventures. That's gonna be
This is
fun.
that one with the cute little dragon girl that eats everything, right?
Yeah, kinda. Where she just eats the shit out of everything.
Feed
The
her.
the
The
don't
1,000-year-old.
loot the dragon lolly.
Yeah. That...
Yeah, the don't loot the dragon lolly. Awesome.
So that's all of our sponsors. That's the anime for next week. I think we're gonna have our giveaway next week because I tried contacting one of our sponsors to see if we can set up a giveaway, but I have yet to hear from them, especially since I just messaged them today because I completely forgot. So I will probably do it next week, for 2018. So tell all your friends. We'll get that done. And yeah, follow all of our
to
amazing
win.
creators here.
Thanks for watching.
Happy
Anything
New
else?
Year, everyone.
See
Happy
you
New
next
Year.
year.
New Year, 2 days. Party hard on New Year's Day.
Thank
Get
you for all your
fucking
support
wasted,
for this year.
kids.
Thank you for watching.
You gotta party like young Deku at the desk.
Party like it's
Party hard.
17.99.
It's almost-
It is nice.
It's
It's almost the 19th century. What are we
Goodbye,
gonna do?
everyone. Thank you for tuning in tonight.
Bye.
Oh God, bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you, Larry.
Bye.
Pretty outgoing of you.
生き抜いてゆこう初めましてなんてさ遥か彼方へと言い合って千年周期を一日で生きしよう辞書にある言葉で出来上がった世界を憎んだ万華鏡の中で8月のある朝